stay just before we go to other stories. Obi ni Apostle, yen stay with your gospel for Ikakra.
Okay.
Now this weekend, so whose story be Kobe Sam is one of the contemporary artists or the Ghana gospel space. What on the Facebook page say. Or say, I have a problem with the VGMA, hashtag VGMA Unsung category. They bring up with no special plan for the artist. I ask myself lots of questions. What plan do the award scheme have for these artists? Or is it just to perform at the award ceremony? This music thing is a journey. Not to say I don't acknowledge the platform given to the artist, but we all complain about structure in our industry, yet we are the same people who keep breaking the rules. It's a very long post, actually.
Very long.
A
thesis.
A thesis. A very long post. Now, I don't know. Does he have a point at all?
Well, one thing I'll say is that, he might have a point in his own way. To him, he has a point. But maybe to someone somewhere, he has no point. Because number one, VGM in the program, whatever they spent on the whole event, you didn't contribute anything. And they want to give you an opportunity to perform on that particular platform. Me patcho we are almost meet pie anymore. I say we are almost car with the promotorium. The unsung category is something they just, sat down to bring on board just to help the emerging artists. Not a microphone so now look, when your opportunity now to perform on VGMA platform so as an emerging artist, it should be a plus for you. And number two, if you know how to, put things together to give, yourself some sort of leverage, to me you should opportunity and they build themselves to a certain point. That's what I can say. Until so can say emfasobi nimu na den no yama artist and at the end there here needs to be proud. From Kakra.
Obi, the way I say what chocolate, I said the own person comment.
I have a view of it. I think it's more of explanatory submission.
Okay.
Right. Now, the unsung is like putting a spotlight on people who are doing very well but have not gotten the shine.
Okay.
That's the unsung. In Tebiobi or Yejumapa, probably not even in Accra, but even in Tamale, in Westing, or Yejuma, but so this unsung is able to bring you into the conversation up there, into there is this champion guy, or the circle the crack was a crew na kwani ni be on the from
That's right.
You understand me? Yes, and Sadipa way this scheme is able to bring you at par with a more Accra. There are people even in Accra who are doing less, but who are more honey you but this platform as well, or this unsung category now, people begin to look for you. Now, in looking for you, if you've done your homework well, it means that you are adding up to your numbers. Yeah. So, the call is not to go to VGMA. This cry is supposed to go to either music or Gambro.
Okay.
Because they manage structures. VGMA doesn't manage a structure. VGMA is an award scheme.
And you choose to be part of the scheme or not, isn't it?
Yes, you choose to be part. But the unsung is like they fish out. Year research to look for people who are doing well. So the platform is not as though say it just wants to capitalize on those who are up there, but also help those who are down there to come up. So if you're part of the unsung, for me, from where I sit, I think say a step ahead of what you're doing. Now look at the amount of credibility that VGMA has. By far, it's the biggest award scheme in Ghana. So if VGMA should mention my name, Obi Nartey, in the category of unsung, what does it mean? Yeah. And VGMA is watched nationwide and even sometimes beyond Ghana. Yeah. So maybe the conversation should be more spotlight more talkability should go into to go into the unsung.
But they have a whole, I think, night that
Absolutely.
they
So,
have dedicated
yes,
to this unsung category.
Exactly. And Amika said his call is to the wrong office.
Yeah,
He has a genuine concern that after the unsung, now you be mentioned, what next? But that should be going to the music structure owners. Omune says, I win a combo. And your VGMA. I said three music a project so maybe one Gabi Akwe or somebody I feel now or born who thing maybe one Kwekute is doing well be and one Philip Ajale be you don't know Philip Ajale, you don't know Kwekute, but your body didn't pair. It means that you have to go and follow Kwekute or to go and look out for Kwekute or your day when you wine or hey. And that's part of it. That's a huge PR for you. And I think Kobe has a point, but the point, the arguments should be directed to the system owners, not the awards key.
People have made or raised the concern, say a lot of upcoming or emerging artists, have such big sense of entitlement that sometimes it just becomes annoying. I don't know if you agree with them, but people think that, you know what? Just get on with it. I mean, if you have been given an opportunity, however small it is, why don't you, look into yourself, look into what you've got, and make the most of that opportunity? That sense of entitlement. People, if you are an upcoming artist, get over it.
It's a result of a failed system. No more. If we have a well-structured system. Ubema who say what we drew her, we drew her. And so we answer Wakoha. But when the system is open, in this structure,
I keep on asking. So whose responsibility is
music
is
and
it?
Gamro? It's obvious. I've always said this thing. Those two white elephants. I don't want to go into some of them. You see, I don't know what the problem is, and for me, I would want to dare any government say so much to be bad power no more per se music juma or monsham no family.
Pacho, why obi na taye call no hating Pacho, I know said the Ghana High Commissioner ne office no mutie show mutie rainbow, possibly somebody is listening to the show. You can convey this to the office of the president.
If South Africa is doing it here what is preventing us? I think that the problem we have in Ghana, we feel you need. And buying knowledge is difficult. Go and buy knowledge and then implement it. I don't know how difficult this is. We complain about royalty, but
there are systems.
There are systems across the country that are enjoying royalty.
You can just replicate that system.
Reggie and Bolly have cried about this thing before. Yeah. We've had a banter about this thing before. Why are we still there? Why are people still getting 70 Ghana cedis as royalty? Everybody 120 as royalty. Everybody 50 cedis. Why? Up to date. In this era of digitalization, boy, who starts to say Ghana is becoming digital. We're still at the level of doing things to say be a year war 1541 that shouldn't be it. What you saying? And I make us say it's I say be a rock be a and I say either it is the political interference with some of these things into mean progress now. Let's separate it.
You see, Kwame Obinata cancer the political interference. Adia Bakwa Ghana and Nema be political interference. In football, whatever. It's this time,
So in the sense, so political interference in the sense, say, the politicians want somebody they prefer to be in the helm of
Rexoma NDC. Abayne was to the MPP in TS sabotage and say NDC banner buys or say for and I say whoever is there on to be a
now Rexoma and Kasag out
so what's his problem? I didn't know Muntimin man. Why are they not getting what they need to work?
But say Rexoma Babo Timper because say Juman there are so many things and when someone is position be no bad but no say never be my juma no so who baby as free.
What I said, I think that for me, these are some of the reasons why I may person may venture in some of these things because yan sheni here e bedu baby on so ko to nsu cry be some political party and something to nsu na ma. But we should move away from these things. Yan share the holistic growth of the industry. I bet me a non-partisan approach to solving the industrial issues with music in Ghana. Yeah. This will help us. We could contest for position or music. Yeah, share the political affiliation. And it doesn't help
for their own parochial.
What's you say? And we're able to even do the partnership well. Say, say, Danny, you have a good system. I'll be a partner with Musica. Let's engage you, partner it, and let's share 50-50. We want to struggle to get 100% and fail. Where we can get a 50-50 and a beboying.
That's it.
I don't get it.
It's sometimes a mentality. Actually, yeah, it's a mentality you struggle to understand why that mentality is entrenched. But anyway, for Rainbow Entertainment, bet me the all those of you watching us on Facebook, we see you. Thank you for tuning in. But one of the stories, I think the last one about the gospel industry. Now, me say, you're touching on briefly before we move away from there. And talk about other things. I saw a story this week. Celestine Donko, I think she has a program coming up. Yeah, the Celestial Praise, no, about
10th edition.
The 10th edition. Now we're making some. You say you don't need a hit song to stage concerts. Right, I don't know. Apostle, I mean, starting with you.
Now,
don't worry, because I definitely have an opinion on this one. I will share it. But Apostle, what do you think about that?
Well, say, you're right, because you don't need his songs to stage a concert. I mean, I feel na watching them to us. I feel na oba where you wine concert a concert. Your locality, your vicinity, baby, I will find yourself. You can stage a concert for. I mean, it helps you to grow and helps you to get a fan base. Internet say, "Ote sebeta frache kaswa, baby to say abia akweli." Now, to me, mboshu so akweli honum. Henya oba be ne Ghana maimu oko hoko yeden. Enyum to ni munuko muko yeden. So you don't need. You see, people think I need to, get this sort of hit. I was saying minya numbers way. I was saying minya way. And some matimia baby say no. If you can't do great things, do small things in great ways. That's what I can say.
Obi,
yeah, I agree with him absolutely. I also agree with Celestine to a point because, baby, I do know. I think it's not about even your song, so it's about the conversation about the artist. If you have people talking about you, you are there.
Yeah.
If Grace Nyumbi amame. Unimni Nyumbi. Comes to
that comes into mind.
Only if Grace Nyumbi. But let if Grace pull up a concert right now, you get thousands of people going. Why? Because she sold herself in the area. She thinks that people will appreciate what she's doing. I've always said, Mekachi Obi said, this conversation is or upcoming. I see, I'm saying you're not there. I said, I'm saying you are not there yet. Even if Celestine can acknowledge, or not, you can say a ball first 5 or woman, or I say you don't need hit songs. It means that there is something you have to do to build a fan base, which is not necessarily your hit song. Because I tell you, people get fed up with your hit song. There are some of the artists, when you go to a show, you can predict the songs they come to do. So why would I even go and say that? The Ghana, your top gospel, you can predict what they come to sing. Or 2 albums over 2 or 2 albums over 2. How is that a concept? You see, I think that we need to understand some of these things. Makacho said, Danny, this year, with consultation, they are free to do.
Consultation, idiot.
Yes.
You say you are in ministry.
You see, when you have a concert, the essence of your concert is to bring a different touch of the things you have done. You don't come on the stage and repeat what you have done on the CD for us. And that is why in the ideology of a concert, people want to bring other people on board to spice up the event. Good. But you, the artist, what are you doing to spice up your event? Oba track one when you see the so the playlist so or no asano ko. Oba me what now heading. That's right. You understand me? So the concert should be it's a creative event.
If you can do it like live sort of thing.
A creative event, you need to put in work. We talk about Snowball, Meboa. 10 minutes. Look at what is produced. We talk about shows now, they are the BT. Within a space of 5 minutes, look at what they produce. We have 2 to 3 hours. We repeat our songs. No creativity, no dynamism, nothing. So how would I even spend to come and watch you? I'll sit at home and watch your old videos because we said no one about it. But if we're able to understand the essence of concert, I say your space and also a very spiritual space. It doesn't mean that you cannot be creative. I think God is.
And take the word concert. Pena I said
yes.
Bibi I said yasma ayi mbozamfo.
Someone yeah. I know. Oh, what I say. So we need to get people who understand these things. Now, I remember at the time I joined 3 Music on board. I saw the creativity that was in there, and I was asking because it wasn't say it's Kasem. It was just that the people had a creative idea. I didn't be in the gospel industry. Why do we always have to do same rigid styles, same rep? They be the same thing. You'll be a concert 10 years. Predicting more better.
Sure.
From this, you predict everything, even to their intro and their outro. Be predicted.
Example.
And it's sad.
Example.
Oh, but my guy just message your first 5. You should know me. Your first 5. You pick up there. They'll play the same.
No, the worship songs.
Not the spontaneous. And even the guests that they bring, I don't know whether they have conversations with the guests because would you be about concert? You need to tell the person the kind of variety you want on your show. But the Kofu will be free Nigeria. So there is no spice in there. And you're just a dry atmosphere, the same Sunday service, and no concert.
I mean, this thing is quite important. So, if you concert be recently, I'm over Frey and I say, let us hear from you. Na and then again, I always benchmark this with your secular artists, and sometimes people have problems when I do that because you talk about variety, the work that goes into it, the creativity and stuff, but you realize Obeko show any of the your friends saying secular artists Obeko concert and also Obeko show, you could see that work has gone into the thing. Although most of the time, DJ pen, I mean, those who are see that, well, yeah, there are a bit more while you can see it's just a straightforward lazy thing they come to do, but there are some that you can literally see the plan that has gone into it. For instance, the group, I was actually hoping that I could speak to the group composers because they've celebrated their 10 years this year. If I've not been to their concert personally, but I've watched a couple of their concerts online. And I know people who have been to their concert, and they've also backed a lot of these Afrobeat artists who share the way that they put everything together. The vibe that they are able to generate, the creativity that goes even with songs no more sample no more born alive and we say a juma akum. So anytime they put out a we say one more year baby immediately people are rushing to get the tickets to go.
Yeah, then just how.
But I mean it's quite sad that it's like that because in actual fact, Christopher there. No, Christopher there sang excellence. I see Yankopon excellent in Tika was a Mona, Christopher and Ketimi yeah, the best, give the best and the excellent stuff. But I don't know, Obi ni Apostle. I don't know if it's because of where we find ourselves, or because most of the time, no, oko outside, like call abia artists, foreign artists, be to say the Americans, no near they know. How they do their stuff is completely different.
I tend to agree with you, but you see, I think it's a conversation where I'll not lay it at the doorstep of just the artists. I think it's even a national problem where we don't even have good event centers that can accommodate creativity. We don't have them. So then again, you're siphoning creativity. If we have good event venues, you watch the last 3 music awards.
Yeah.
You watch it. It was just an empty space. But you see, nipa de real or share sena I want to and I want dream BB. How can I do this? Or share the setup. If we have these things, that would do a bit more dream. But national theater. What again can you do to the national theater? What again can you do to a church auditorium? So for I just said the next door the sorry, and now the sorry Sunday. How long would you be able to think as to putting things together?
But Obi Pachawambusa was so in this sense, no, the creativity is it limited to the aesthetics and also even with the delivery. Of what you're coming to do.
You see, but even if the environment is not conducive for creativity, how will the person be creative? A bit limited. What's your say? Fantasy be we should be na me person be a free suruba. Not the place no MY obenantiaba. You understand me? And that you make us say, hey, what's not for gospel? But
gospel artists are what not on gospel.
You see, the creativity there is limited. Sure. What I say, I've always said, for me, it's one of my biggest dreams. Say, Ghana, you beat me a share a national agenda for event centers. Hey, Mr. Ghana for Munchime. So we whatever political party you are, these things should not be political. It should be in the interest of the people. We don't have event centers. We don't have good event centers. You buy into power. Unfortunately, the concentrations, need this industry. But trust me, this industry is making a lot of money. This industry, you mean to me, it's going to be free side industry, music industry. But we turn a dead ear and then we just do anything to them. Like, we don't pay attention to them. We don't have good event centers. Our music systems are poor. The leadership that push these things, or we need the know-how, or they don't have the apparatus to work for us. And I say, hand to mouth be what this industry. If we're able to get good event venues, I think it's a bit boy. You mention them. Accra International Conference Center, National Theatre, Dome. If I'm you, watch me. One qua, Ukoji prayers, Ukoji ICGs, Ukoji action, and these things they come with a lot of conditions.
Yeah. And you to me, and
now you're following the cry, say, bit me Dome.
As some Kwame Bin taking on Uncle Dawson, me kai say 10 times na the organ na one lady na I'm also gospel artist na I mean you per se you show man na I was e kwaji asori dan kese bi wo Kumasi and send no ka ponko asem we decided say on fa ponko bra stage say ye ne asori mpanifo ne ade akase be so I had the muntu sound because ade chi ye no past 7 a.m. But we still decided to use Ponkono. Anybody wants to Ponkono can offering bowl for glass and corn papa. Organizers.
Munya we a concert no
it's in a way in a good place. I mean, look at this. The next time you go Bibisa not the same place and I say a place similar to that. You wouldn't think of doing anything nice. You just you're kind of normal because you're passing behavior. So I think we should have good centers.
I understand that the center will contribute, but then Obi, the first point you were making about even the music.
Yes.
When you go to the concert, you can literally predict
exactly what they are coming
the
to
repertoire
do.
and now what they are coming to do. I think that alone is something that people can look at that. But then again, before we coming back to that point quickly and telling listeners what I think about what a Celestine has said. No, I feel say it may be true that you may not need a hit song to be able to put a concert together, but then it's about the magnitude of the concert you want to do, and the sustainability of that concert.
Absolutely.
The sustainability. How long are you gonna go without something to your name? Yeah, because of what? Yeah, because of say, oh, Baba Tunyuma Yatiwa, sorry, them, they be now Baba Tuachrain. Fine. I mean, I show video, but there is something about people having that physical engagement or that physical connection with Nipa or Born. One example, me use your Kodrentry.
Okay.
You see, I've never attended a Kodrentry concert, right? But from my teenage years, and I'm a Kodrentry concert, I say, right, where every 24th is like Obia Pesoko Kodrentry concert, and the experience that people talked about alone when they go to a Kodrentry concert is something out of the world. Also, I mean, that time crowd now ube hun anymore. It's the digital way liberated and now those times no ne cassettes leave crowd hun anymore. Or the caricature be and I remember 20 and I thought all of it built, was part of the creativity in delivering that. But the point I'm trying to make is say it's a 50-50 thing with regards to what Celestine kind of say. Maybe you can start depending on your environment. And say, oh, sorry, and now you have a community beer. From what you have, of course, you obey to me a pull that sort of appreciable crowd to do something for them. But then to sustain a brand as a musician party, at a point you need those songs. You need
I think that you also have a very valid point.
I mean, and somebody that I'm a few people that I'm a bit worried about when it comes to this. One, I would mention that somebody like Emmanuel Smith, right? I mean, any day, anytime he's filled the O2 Indigo to twice. Second one, I happened to be there, did some backstage interview for him. But thankfully, I mean, the second one, he's tried to, I'm waiting for the videos to come. He did some of his new songs nearly. But almost everywhere you've seen Imam Minister, it has been, he's built that with other people's songs. But then I believe that he's come to understand, they say, that is not sustainable. So now he's doing that. So thankfully in the new concert way there, he introduced some new songs which were very good. We're waiting for the video to come out. Another person I'll mention is maybe someone like SK Frimpong. I mean, this gentleman has burst into the Ghana gospel scene now. He's doing very well, but sometimes I sit back, I watch, and I ask myself, okay, so where is his own song? I mean, what if we want to put something to him as SK Frimpong, where is his song?
Okay, I think this is the conversation I was having with the person. It's make it Unsung,
right?
And I make say the gospel industry and to say secular, or secular, you need a hit song to be known. Ours is more of feeding a certain interest taste of a group. And to be SK no say no see any worship in no open as
right.
What's I say? And SK beats my worship consistently for like 4 to 5 years. He will build a certain unusual following. You'll be surprised when SK concert or water crowd. The place was filled to the brim. Then you mean the onye BI good. And SK didn't you remember? That group no completely good no. He's already had the market. Yeah. So it's a win-win for it's a 50-50 like you said. It can help you and cannot help you. For Celestine Mono, they don't have any problem if they call people for Beba. But for people like SK, they are one young for appreciate you over the years. The day you bring your song, everybody will jump on it because they say, I'm going to have built that relationship already.
Yeah.
So it's not just about your hit song, it's about they loving the personality and you'll be able to pull them together as a brand. And on a wow artist, I think say for me, and that has been it. Joe By, Joe not new man or two here. He was coming from the back of Soul Winners.
So winners,
Yeah.
And that was all. Joe was doing praise and worship. He's a praise and worship leader.
Yeah.
The day Joe released it in you, and the song won award. First gospel artist to win artist of the year. What you say? So for Omo Banono will be a good thing for them to build a certain fan base with what the people love to hear from them. I mean, that's what I believe. They be America say, oh yeah, they na almost that is your market. Continue. Hit it. Hit it there. Keep there. And now and you know, and you know, they'll go look for the song themselves.
The song must be good though.
And you see,
That's another thing.
but you see the advantage. Even if the song is not good, you have the people. What did I say? The most important thing is Uber pull your more together to you. You are the brand though. Who now we are brand though? And two of you mean anything I'm going for bar or mobile industry or the new bar, now you know for penny deal will not. Those who have succeeded are those who have built the base with a praise are praise. Abia worship, Abia reggae. Or build this into Oba and you bring your do and you near do or mania concert is another idea.
That's it.
Let Emmanuel Smith pull a concert up here and see whether he will feel any auditorium. But then you near day. Una wa the concert now.
Sorry, yeah,
you understand me? The most important thing I say is here as artists, especially gospel artists, they say build a solid fan base with whatever you are doing.
And I think it's not even too difficult. Start from your church. I said, oh, Bowie, sorry, man, yeah. And I mean,
apostles, that conversation, hope I say, you can't go. Sorry, assembly, you can't go. I mean, just before we go on the lighter notes now, let's quickly look at this. Meaning, say, any of you read the story? I said, yeah.